Welcome to another edition of Crime Time with DutyRon. I am a retired New York City police detective with 20 plus years of law enforcement. If you like all things true crime related from a police perspective, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, so you'll get all things DutyRon when I go live or upload another video. Today we're going to cover the Troy Driver bail hearing. This is just a formality, and I really feel strongly, although I'm keeping my fingers crossed, I feel strongly that they will not grant any kind of bail to him. And if it is bail, it's going to be very high to keep him in there. So I hope everyone likes my virtual background that I got going on here. I want to say hello to all of the Patreon supporters, the channel members, and all of the folks who engage. Let me know if the audio is good coming from this little AirPod mic that I'm using. I'm in an office setting. I couldn't run out to my vehicle. I hope the background, you guys like it. It's a little bit, mimics kind of the flag that I have in my studio. I'm here at my place of business trying to bring this to you. Let me say thank you to the new members. John Cassidy, thank you for becoming a member. Hello, Miss Donna, good to see you. Hello, Lieutenant Pranzo. Alicia B is always here and present. Becca Kellen is here. Angela, good to see you, Ange. Thank you, guys. Let me know if you like the new screen and how it looks. But I want to play a little bit of something for you before we get into, I have a little screen minimized at the bottom here. I'm going to play a little piece from Newsnation from the other night. Let me know if you guys can see it good in the chat by giving me a thumbs up when I do play it. Thank you to all the Facebook group people for coming in. I appreciate you guys. Again, I threw this together really quick, and I'm hoping that you guys enjoy the background. And once the Zoom hearing goes, I'll shut off the video that I'm going to play to you. Let's see how this goes. Give me 2 seconds so I can add it.
Video is chilling. A man seemingly lurking in the shadows, waiting to strike. That was 17 days ago. Tonight, a suspect is in custody. He may be the only one with answers, but he's not talking. Naomi Irion is still missing, and her family fears that time is running out. Former FBI agent Jennifer Coffindaffer is standing by to lend her expertise on this case.
By the way, Jennifer Coffindaffer will be joining me tonight to talk about the Oakley Carlson case. So we're going to have Jennifer on with us tonight at 9:30 p.m. Eastern, and we're going to have the adoptive mom joining us as well. Actually, a foster mom. So she's going to be joining us as well, of Oakley Carlson. So just a little bit of a tidbit there.
Which is getting international attention tonight. But first, let's go to correspondent Brian Entin. He is live in Nevada, where the FBI is involved now. And Brian, an entire community on edge.
Yeah, Rutabaga, it's hard to express just how shaken this close-knit community is. This young woman, she lived all over the world. She moved here, wanted to start a life here, and ended up getting kidnapped from this Walmart parking lot behind me. Drive around Fernley, Nevada, and you'll see the billboards and the flyers. They're everywhere. This small, normally quiet city is on edge ever since 18-year-old Naomi Irion was kidnapped from a Walmart parking lot on March 12th. In surveillance video, you see the suspect seeming to stalk the parking lot where Naomi was parked and waiting for a shuttle to take her to work. That's the moment her family's world changed forever.
And then when he turns and he squares his shoulders and he's staring at her car. Oh, I got such chills. It was like that moment when a lion spots its prey and is about to pounce.
Knowing Naomi the way you know her better than anyone, is she the type that would fight, or is she the type that would?
Naomi is like a deer in the headlights. She freezes.
Before moving to Nevada last year, Naomi lived all over the world. Her dad is a U.S. diplomat, and Naomi grew up in Russia, Germany, and South Africa, always heavily guarded on an American diplomatic compound. So Naomi was used to sort of would you say like a sheltered life in some ways, or
we
secure
are
life?
Very protected. We live in a very secure compound with 12-foot walls with razor wire that's electrified on top. We have armed guard at our gate. Everybody has to show ID in order to get in. All of our windows and doors have, steel bars.
In August, Naomi left that world for Fernley, just outside Reno, Nevada, to to live with her brother.
Things are going great. She has her own car, has a job. She was saving up money in order to get her own place.
This is the area where Naomi was parked and waiting on her work shuttle. It's dark, not a lot of people around. Detectives say she was last on social media at 5:23 a.m., and it was just about 1 minute later that the suspect approached her. Her car was found nearby in an industrial area, and on Friday, 13 days after she was abducted, police arrested 41-year-old Troy Driver. He's behind bars and charged with kidnapping. But what's so disturbing is despite the arrest, investigators still haven't found Naomi. And Naomi's family says he doesn't appear to be cooperating with police. We're on our way to where Troy Driver's truck was found. It's about 30 minutes or so from the Walmart. And we've learned he has quite a disturbing past. According to newspaper records, he was sentenced to 15 years in prison in California in the late 90s for accessory to murder. He was accused of actually hiding a body inside a car. Ma'am? Excuse me, ma'am? A woman at the house where Driver's truck was found went inside when she spotted us. It seems he may have the information you need.
Probably. And I understand that he has a family. He has a daughter. And I can imagine that a man who is a father to a little girl could go out there and take someone else's little girl away from them. I just don't know.
How horrifying is this to even watch? It's heart-wrenching. By a show of hands in the chat, I mean, how many of us here just feel that this is just heart-wrenching to listen to?
I understand. I want him to try and put himself into our shoes and how we feel. How would he feel if this happened to his little girl? He needs to give up her location and give her back to us.
And it's just so difficult to imagine what Naomi's family, what her parents are going through right now. On top of all of this, Rutabaga, they also adopted 3 Ukrainian little boys with special needs. Those boys were living with them at the U.S. diplomatic compound in South Africa. And you can only imagine when those parents got the call that their daughter was kidnapped here in Nevada, not only did they have to pack up and travel halfway around the world here and deal with this, they have those boys with them now, the entire family just hoping that Naomi is found soon and found alive.
This is an unbelievable story, and you can just, that pain of the family is palpable. We know that Naomi had a date the night before she went missing. Has anything been said about that person?
Yeah, the family does confirm that she had a date, but they say that the FBI has looked into that person and that person is not a suspect right now. Also, she had filed a sexual harassment complaint at the place where she works, the factory where she works several months ago. That has also been looked into by the FBI, the person who was involved, and that person has also been cleared.
So many facets to this story. And what do we know about the search efforts tonight?
So really no signs right now of law enforcement actively searching a specific area. The family has organized searches on their own. They had a search last weekend. They're planning another search in the future. But what's so troubling for them is they're not really getting a lot of information about specifics about where to search. They're hoping for more information tomorrow when that suspect is arraigned, perhaps more information about why police are specifically tying him to the case.
All right, Brian Entin, great reporting. Thank you. And former FBI agent Jennifer Coffindaffer has been following this case closely as well. She is joining us live tonight. Jennifer, good to see you. We know that Naomi.
For those of us who can hear me in the chat, can you guys just put a 1 in the chat if you can hear my audio? If you could hear me right now talking, just let me know by saying yes or putting a 1 in the chat. I just want to make sure that my audio is okay and you guys can hear me. Okay, great. Thank you, Kathy. Thanks, Rose. Heather, Black Rose. Thank you, Ange. So just got a message that the judge is not allowing the hearing to be live streamed. Now, I don't know if that means from inside the court, But if the judge is putting in an order of this not to be live streamed, then it's going to be, of course, I will abide by what the judge is saying. I won't, because I'm just hearing this now. I just saw a tweet from Brian Entin. I'll put it up on the screen for you guys. Hold on a second. Just give me 2 seconds and let me get back. So here I am. I'm looking at a tweet. I'll read it to you guys. It says, "I'll live tweet the kidnapper Troy driver's arraignment. It's starting in 20 minutes." And I thought this was just a bond hearing for the bail, but he puts arraignment in his tweet. If in fact it is an arraignment, that's a whole nother story. It's starting in 20 minutes. I'm in the courtroom. This is Brian Entin. The judge is not allowing live streaming. Driver is accused of kidnapping Naomi Irion. I think maybe what he means is that people can't just go in the courtroom, even news reporters, and live stream it, but it is available on Zoom. I have the link to Zoom and I'm waiting to get in. Let me just check it right now. I'm in, the host is waiting to let me in. So I'm one of the 100 people of the limit to get in. I'm just waiting for Canal Township Justice Court to go live. I have it minimized. So if you want to hang out here, I'm going to get clarification as I play more of this Newsnation video. And if I can get if I can get clarification if the Zoom meeting is okay to be live streamed, then I will do it. If it's not, then I won't do it. You guys know me, you know how I get down. I do everything by the book. So hold on a second. Let's let the rest of this continue.
Naomi's father was a high-level diplomat and that she had just returned, as Brian reported, to try to live a normal life in the States. Does that take investigators in a different direction?
I don't think so in this particular case. It's clear that she was abducted. We have camera footage showing that. And this looks...
Absolutely. I have it on my Zoom and it's recording. So I definitely will view it. What I could do is view it on a sidebar and not play the audio for you guys, and I can give you a play-by-play. If you guys want that, let me know by putting a 1 in the chat. If you want to hear me just give you guys secondhand play-by-play, because that's what Brian Entin is going to be doing by Twitter. He's going to be giving you a blow-by-blow. I could listen to it and then not play it here on the stream, and I'll let you guys know how it's going. Let me know in the chat if that's what you want.
Like she was specifically stalked and preyed upon in that Walmart parking lot.
And there is a suspect in custody, but as far as we know, he's not talking. What methods are investigators going to be using to get him to talk?
Well, right now, they don't have any bargaining chips. He's being held. This is not his first rodeo. He's been arrested multiple times, as Brian Entin mentioned.
Yeah, that's the face of evil right there, ladies and gentlemen. This is true and pure evil. And thank you to anyone who has given super chats. If you guys are not yet subscribed or members of this community, please consider becoming a member. Consider following me on all things social media, all one word, DutyRon, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Now we are on TikTok as well. Let me know. Let me know if you're following me, and let me know in the comment section if you follow me on social media and Crime Time with DutyRon. I greatly appreciate that.
And he's not only learned tricks of the trade when he's served his prison sentences, he's been through the system and he's dealt with law enforcement.
But as far as we know, he's not talking. What methods are investigators going to be using to get him to talk?
Well, right now, they don't have any bargaining chips. He's being held. This is not his first rodeo. He's been arrested multiple times, as Brian Entin mentioned, and he's not only learned tricks of the trade when he's served his prison sentences, he's been through the system. He's dealt with law enforcement and investigation since he was 17 years old, so he knows not to speak.
And what does it mean that he was arrested for kidnapping, but that she still hasn't been found?
Well, they can prove at least probable cause to approve right now the kidnapping statute. However, that's the only statute they really have that's provable in terms of probable cause at this point. So that's what they've charged.
And they say that there's evidence of a crime in her car. We heard from the family that even they don't know what that is. Where does your mind go when you hear that?
Well, I think inside that car, there's going to be clear evidence of a struggle. There's probably going to be items that are in complete disarray and possibly also blood evidence.
And of course, so many people, including yourself, will be paying attention to this court hearing tomorrow. What are you looking for tomorrow?
Well, tomorrow is a huge hearing because they're going to make decisions about the bond.
This guy is freaking evil looking. Guys, just in breaking news from Lyons County Sheriff. They just sent out a message on Facebook. Unfortunately, nothing will be live streamed from any resource. It is against Supreme Court law to live stream any court proceedings. I will share news videos as soon as I am able to, and that is the official Lyon County Sheriff's Office release. So there will be nothing put out. If you see someone, I'm one of the 100 people in that Zoom meeting. They haven't gone live on that Zoom meeting, so the judge might have put a kibosh on that Zoom. If you see somebody streaming that video, that hearing, it's against federal law. It's against the federal Supreme Court law. I will not and will never break Supreme Court law, ever. So let me just tell you quickly, let me get myself back on the screen. I'm gonna go full screen with me. I will never ever break the law. So again, you probably can't see it. I'm not going to show you, but I'll read it to you. Unfortunately, nothing will be live streamed from any resource. It is against Supreme Court law to live stream any court proceedings. You know, I was surprised that they were going to allow this, but sometimes judges actually let an embedded court live feed come in on some of the cases. But this is Supreme Court, and they're saying it's against Supreme Court law to live stream any court proceedings. I will share news videos as soon as I am able to. So this is whoever runs that, whoever runs the Facebook page for Lyon County Sheriff. Let's let the rest of this play.
For Mr. Driver. Specifically, the prosecution is going to think inside that car, there's going to be clear evidence of a struggle. There's probably going to be items that are in complete disarray.
You heard not last night, but the night before last, Ed Wallace and I spoke about the evidence inside the vehicle. So again, you know, Jennifer is just going back over it. She's going to be joining me tonight at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time. So we will talk a little bit about this case as well.
And possibly also blood evidence.
Where does your mind go when you hear that?
Well, I think inside that car, there's going to be clear evidence of a struggle. There's probably going to be items that are in complete disarray and possibly also blood evidence.
And of course, so many people, including yourself, will be paying attention to this court hearing tomorrow. What are you looking for tomorrow?
Well, tomorrow is a huge hearing because they're going to make this.
How many people in the chat, I said this to my friend Jolene yesterday, when I first saw this mugshot picture, especially his actual booking picture, he looked like, he definitely looked like a Charles Manson nephew or relative. Like, I don't know if I'm off on that, but I think I'm pretty close to, he has that Charlie Manson look about him. And, you know, it's not exactly it, but it is so Manson-esque. Let me know what you think in the comment section and in the chat, if I'm off base or if I'm, you know, not on base with this, but I got that vibe right away.
Decisions about the bond for Mr. Driver. Specifically, the prosecution is going to be looking at proving that he's a flight risk, proving that he's a danger to the community. There's going to be facts and circumstances that come out that possibly we don't know yet. So it should be very interesting from a fact basis because the defense on the other side is going to be arguing that, no, you don't have the facts to show my client actually abducted Naomi. And secondarily, he has ties to the community. He has a job. So the prosecution will be working hard to present facts that show those two elements so they can get him no bonded.
And this video is just so chilling because you see this person, as the family said, like stalking prey in this parking lot. What does the video tell you as an investigator?
Well, I see one of two scenarios here. Either he had been stalking Naomi and knew that she parked in and around that vicinity in the parking lot and was specifically looking for Naomi based on her normal routine, or that he was merely in that parking lot trying to find someone who was waiting for that bus or who was in that parking lot in the early morning hours that was vulnerable.
And so if this was a crime of opportunity, or even if it was a stalking situation, what is your advice to women who may just not have their guard up? You know, we all go grocery shopping, we all go to work, we're in parking lots every day.
If you are alone, if not many people are around you, if you are in dusk hours, you have to be very alert. You should have pepper spray in your hand. You should be well aware of your surroundings. When you enter your car, you should immediately lock that door. You should never allow anyone in, and never, ever get in the car with somebody else where they could take you to a secondary location.
Very good information right there. Let me get myself back on. Stand by. Okay, here I am, guys. All right, so I'm looking at Brian Entin's. I'm looking at Brian Entin's Twitter account, and I could pull that up and put it up on the screen. But he's, you know, he's going over that Naomi's 3 adopted younger brothers from the Ukraine are in the courtroom. We did see them in some of the press conferences. The boys are there in the background, along with her father and her mom and her brother and her sister. Naomi Irion's family is now entering the courtroom. And he's just given a play-by-play on his Twitter account. So I'm watching that, I'm following that closely. But before we start looking at what Brian Entin is tweeting, I want to go over, I want to just show you a small clip that he did earlier today. This was earlier today from the Walmart parking lot. This is going to give you a bird's eye view of what that Walmart parking lot looked like. And he walks through it. So I'll let you guys take a peek at it, and you guys can let me know what you think of that as well. Let me let this play.
I'm in Fernley, Nevada right now. If you've been following our stories for the last couple of days, we're in Nevada covering this really disturbing case, missing 18-year-old Naomi Irion. Jennifer Coffindaffer is with us too right now on the live stream, former FBI agent. We all know her well. She covers these cases closely too, and is awesome to give us her insight. And we just wanted to take a little while to answer some of your questions as we go into this pretty significant court hearing.
I want to just tell you, 5 minutes ago, Brian Entin tweeted, "This judge is not playing. Just secretly turn your live on, we can just listen." Just secretly turned your live on, we can just listen. I don't know what that means. That's one of the people suggesting that he commits a felony. A federal crime, one of his Twitter followers. That's a ridiculous comment. Just secretly turn your live on so we can listen. That would be something that a criminal would do. But let's let the rest of this play. I'm watching his Twitter account really good.
This afternoon that starts in about an hour or so for the kidnapping suspect, Troy Driver, who has been arrested. The sad and awful thing is that Naomi has still not been found. Jennifer, first of all, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you doing, Brian?
Good. Thank you for taking a little time to do this with us. I know you've been really, really invested in this case. You're one of the reasons that that I came out here to Nevada, because you kept telling me you've got to go.
That's pretty interesting. Brian Entin has said right there, just maybe about 35, 40 minutes ago, he said to Jennifer Coffindaffer that the reason he's there covering the case is because of her pushing him. And I'm going to have her on tonight. So I'm going to get a chance to question and talk to Jennifer about, she calls Brian her partner, and those two have a great working relationship. So Brian just said it. He said, "You're one of the reasons why I'm here." Listen to this.
How you doing, Brian?
Good. Thank you for taking a little time to do this with us. I know you've been really, really invested in this case. You're one of the reasons that really that I came out here to Nevada, because you kept telling me you've got to go. What do you think? What's on top of your mind going into this hearing?
Well, I mean, they have got to do a good job showing the particular probable cause details that will lead them to be able to get a no bond. So this isn't only about trying to get a no bond based on him not having strong ties to the community. This is about them showing facets of their case so they can show that judge, listen, we have the evidence that's going to convict him, and we need to keep him held so he can face those charges.
Yeah, I forgot to mention at the top, I'm in the Walmart parking lot right now in Fernley. This is where Naomi was. She came here early in the morning, regularly around 5 a.m. to wait on a work shuttle to take her to the Panasonic plant between where we are and Reno, in that area. And not uncommon, people will come leave their car in a parking lot like Walmart and then take a shuttle to save gas money and that sort of thing. So yeah, it's going to be interesting, Jennifer, because up until this point, police really haven't released any information about, what sort of evidence they have. Are they going to have to tell the judge?
All right, I'm just going to pause this for a minute. Brian just tweeted a minute ago, Naomi's family has their arms around each other and they are waiting quietly for the hearing to start. The hearing has not started yet and the judge has not entered the courtroom. Everyone is wearing pins with Naomi's picture. So that's a play-by-play. That was just tweeted 1 minute ago. Naomi's family have their arms around each other and they're waiting quietly for the judge to start. He still has not entered the courtroom and everyone is wearing their Naomi pins. Let's put some some of her favorite emojis in the chat, the rainbow emojis. Let's light it up with hearts and prayers. Thank you, Donna, Miss Donna Marie. Thank you for immediately responding to that. And I'll keep you updated as the tweets come in.
Why they're holding Troy Driver?
Yeah, they're going to have to present at least some evidence to establish probable cause and to show he is a danger to the community. They're going to talk about his past criminal history also, but then they're going to talk about the specifics concerning this case.
And let me get to some of these viewer questions because they're starting to come in. Laura is asking, will the suspect's past criminal behavior be taken?
Okay, Jennifer said some really good stuff. The prosecution is going to show that this is a danger. This guy's a danger to the public and to anybody, anybody in general. He's a flight risk and he has an extensive criminal record. Brian Entin just tweeted 10 seconds ago, there will be 2 cases heard before Troy Driver. Judge is still not in the courtroom. So I'm still waiting with my Zoom feed. It says that I'm in the queue and I'm waiting. So the judge has not even came in to hear any cases yet. This is typical of many Supreme Court judges. This is not uncommon.
Into account for bond consideration, we know that he has a criminal history accused of, convicted of accessory to murder back in the late 90s. Will that come up, do you think?
Absolutely.
I think it will come up. The judge always wants to see their criminal history. Anytime we go into these hearings, we pull what we call NCIC, the National Center for the Crime Statistics, and we're going to want to show that they have or don't have a criminal past.
One other interesting question, Jennifer, on Twitter, someone tweeted me. Well, first of all, a lot of people have been asking what happened to that man's ear, the suspect's ear. I mean, I've also noticed, it's interesting, that's one of the main things on Twitter.
Okay, so here comes the ear question. Let's listen in.
I don't know if you've noticed, Jennifer, he has like a big chunk missing out of his ear in the mugshot. I'm not really sure why. Are you?
No, I haven't heard why, but we know he's done construction. We know he served a long prison stint. We know that he was involved in murder. He was convicted as being implicated as an accessory in that murder. So
can I just chime in here? I'll tell you what happened to his ear. I mean, I don't know definitely, but a part of his ear is missing. whether it got taken off and somebody bit it off, whether it happened when he was in jail for freaking 17 years. You know, he was in jail for quite a bit of time. So he could have had a jail fight and somebody could have bit his freaking ear off. I would say, if I was a betting man, I would say that while he was in the pokey, in behind bars and in jail, that's how that freaking ear got, piece of it got taken off. I told you the story where I was in front of a court, Supreme Court judge, and a perpetrator got sentenced and the guy fought with all the court officers. I was in the front with one of my fugitive warrant returns. I jumped over the rail to help fight the perpetrator down. He was a boxer from Haiti. I fought him down with a bunch of court officers, and the guy, the perpetrator who got sentenced to jail, bit the court officer's ear right off, right in front of me. So that happens. That's what jailhouse bad boys do. I would almost guarantee you, it's not 100%, but I guarantee you that ear got taken off, that piece, while he was in jail.
So it seems he's lived a little bit of a violent past.
Yeah, makes sense. Another question on Twitter: has Walmart been cooperative with the investigation? This is kind of interesting.
Brian just tweeted, Lewis is allowed to record the Troy driver hearing. We can air clips later on Newsnation. We're just not allowed to broadcast it live. Yeah, so we're all going to abide by it. All of us good citizens are going to abide by that.
Because I interviewed Naomi's brother yesterday, and like we see in these cases sometimes, and it's sad, but he says he had a rough time getting police to really take it seriously for the first 24 hours. And he knew that Naomi came here to this Walmart to go to work. And so he drove over here on his own, went inside the Walmart and got Walmart security to show him the video, him and his girlfriend. So they were actually the first ones to see this video and realize, like, oh my gosh, like
However he lost his ear, it's gone. Part of it is gone. Who cares? What I care about is that he's in jail and that he never gets out, and that he pays the price for what he did to Naomi. And when we eventually are able to find her and bring her home. That's all I care about. The ear thing is just ridiculous and irrelevant. That was just my guess. You know, other people seem to know it all, and some other people might know, you know, where that ear got, you know, taken off. But who really gives a crap about that? I mean, the bottom line is he's in jail, and that's where he belongs, because he's responsible for the disappearance of Naomi.
Kidnapped, and then called the police again and said, "We've seen the video. We're at Walmart. Please, like, we've got to do something." So the short answer to the question is yes, Walmart has been cooperating and even showed the family a video.
Tara, I'm going to put that on the screen. That's a great comment. Tara Ellis says, Brian and Jennifer are such a class act. I'd want them on my side. Jennifer is going to be on tonight at 9:30 with me, and we're going to talk about this case a little bit towards the end of the live, but we're going to covering the Oakley Carlson case with her foster mom. She's going to be joining us.
Before the police even had it. So that seems, you know, it seems like they're cooperating. Is that what you understand too, Jennifer?
Yeah, but just to touch on the point you just made, Brian, that's really bothersome to me when I read all about that it was actually the family that had to go in and pull the video and figure out what part of the parking lot she was in, and that they weren't taken seriously by law enforcement. That's something that's going to have to change. And I think with the new spotlight on these cases that really Gabby Petito's case instigated, I'm hoping that we're going to see a better reaction for these departments to take these cases seriously.
Yeah, I hope so. And it was, it's always troubling when a family talks to you about that. And they were very open about that when I interviewed them the night before last, that, you know, you can imagine the frustration in the beginning when you know your loved one and you know they wouldn't just not call and drop off the face of the earth, and you're kind of getting a bit of a runaround from authorities early on. So that I can't imagine how frustrating that must have been. Jennifer, I want to walk you over just to kind of show you the lay of the land.
All right, so here at this point, he's going to show you some of the parking lot of Walmart. So he's going to give you a good view of the lay of the land.
And here, I mean, it looks very much like any Walmart in a suburban area, and Lauren, our producer, is sort of manning the camera, so don't trip or anything, Lauren. But this is sort of the main parking lot here in front, and then I'm going to walk you over to the side where we've seen a surveillance video where this sort of apparently went down. We haven't seen the whole video. Police haven't released the full video publicly. Naomi's brother and his girlfriend did see the full video because, as I said, they were the ones who came to the Walmart on their own. I think it was the day after she first went missing and were able to see the video. Let me ask you one question, though, from a viewer, Jennifer, just while we walk to the other side. Do you know of any other disappearances in this area and that could possibly be connected? Have you heard of anything from people disappearing?
No, and I've been scouring, trying to find that information, and I would have to think law enforcement is all over this, looking at their missing cases, looking at unsolved cases that have come to be after his release from prison.
I'll tell you just from being here, it's seems like a quiet, small city, and people seem to be really disturbed by this case, and everyone knows about it. I mean, everyone here is talking about it. That's not an exaggeration. When you say, Lauren, every single business we've gone into, gas stations, restaurants, hotel, every single one, there is a flyer about Naomi. So people are like really...
All right, let me update you. Brian Entin just tweeted 24 seconds ago. Seems there's a delay on the jail's end. The defendants will appear via Zoom from the jail. Jail is about ready to go, the bailiff said. So I keep checking my Zoom feed. I have it up. It's still not going. But my Zoom is going to be recording that. Newsnation said that they're going to play it tomorrow night as well, tonight. So this will be available. You're just going to have to wait.
On edge, Jennifer, here.
There's no video or audio allowed by federal order of the Supreme Court. Supreme Court says no audio or video. So anybody that does that is committing a felony and could stand to be arrested. So you won't get that here.
Yeah, as well they should be. Thankfully, he's behind bars right now, but that's why this hearing is so important, Brian.
So we're on the side now of the Walmart. This is, I'll step out of the way for a second so you can see Jennifer and everybody else. This is where the video came from, this side. We're not sure exactly where Naomi...
Yeah, the plural defendants is there's more cases, Carol, coming out. So thank you for that. Don't get yourselves up in a tizzy. He's the only defendant in this case. It's just that he's not the only one that's going to be in court today. Troy Driver is not the only one that's going through the system. He has a bunch of other bad guys. So that's why they said defendants. Whoops.
Was parked. Again, we haven't seen the full video, but if you've seen the surveillance video, you'll notice this little overhang here is in the video, and you see the suspect in the hooded hoodie walking around here, and Naomi's mom describes it as a predator stalking prey. I mean, it really is sort of chilling.
Okay, Brian just tweeted a minute ago that arraignments are now starting, so they're bringing out the other defendants that are going to be seen in court today.
Watching him walk around.
Right, Brian, and if I could just interject right now, this idea for viewers right now that catch shuttles, that are looking at places to park in dusk and late night.
This is very valuable information that we spoke about the other night, but she reiterates it here.
Hours, please don't park back in these areas. You need to park where it's well lit and the most trafficked area, just to keep yourself under the radar for these predators that look in hunting grounds like shopping malls and like Walmarts.
Yeah, and
let me know in the chat where you're watching from. Let's do a quick roll call. Let me know your city and state or your country, and let's say hello to all the new people. If you're new, let me know that you're new by just putting your hand up or saying new, and let's say hello to everybody.
And one thing I'll point out is here, if we kind of spin around, there's a lot of cars over here now. But at night, we were here the other night, like, what time were we here? Was it like midnight or 1 a.m.? And it's like it's totally dead out here. There was like no one out here. It's not that lit. So you can imagine how early in the morning, 5 a.m., this would be a place where if you wanted to try to kidnap someone. One thing I did think of, though, is, Walmart has cameras. I mean, everybody sort of knows that. I was kind of surprised, Jennifer, that this, a career criminal wouldn't have thought that he was going to be picked up on camera.
God bless.
This is the thing. When somebody has a lust, a desire to meet, as predators like this do have, they're willing to take these risks. And they realize that the hunting ground that they're going to have to go to probably has cameras. And again, their insatiable desire is far outweighs the risk of being caught on camera.
Let me show you, Jennifer. This, I believe, over here is the camera. There's a couple cameras over here on the corner. I think this, based on the angle of the video, it looks like this camera here above the door.
Thank you, Sarah, for being new.
Was able to capture him in the video that we've seen. So obviously the fact that they had cameras was super helpful. Let me ask you this. I want to ask you a few questions from online, Jennifer, that we're getting. Mm-hmm. This is from someone on YouTube.
Hey, let me just say thank you to everyone who has come across this live stream and is new. If you haven't yet considered subscribing, please consider hitting the subscribe button, hit that notification bell. I am a retired New York City police detective with 20 plus years of law enforcement. I responded to the World Trade Center attack on our country in Lower Manhattan at the World Trade Center. My co-host, who is Ed Wallace, he's a retired crime scene forensic detective, investigator. Consider subscribing. I'll let the rest of this play, but I wanted to just say thank you to each and every one of you. Thank you to all the super chatters. Thank you to everyone who supports this great community. You are so, so important. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Do we know if someone else was driving the car? Camera here above the door is the one that was able to capture him in the video that we've seen. So obviously the fact that they had cameras was super helpful. Let me ask you this. I want to ask you a few questions from online, Jennifer, that we're getting. Mm-hmm. This is from someone on YouTube. Do we know if someone else was driving the car that the suspects got out of before getting into Naomi's car? Let me just read that again. Do we know if someone else was driving the car, so the truck that the suspect got out of before getting into Naomi's car? So do we think that Troy was with someone else? Oh, I'm sorry. We're in one of the workers here. Sorry, go ahead.
Yes, I used to broadcast on Periscope. Yes.
We know if we say.
TAT says, did you used to broadcast on Periscope? Yes, absolutely. Thank you for subscribing today. Mom of 2 boys, welcome. Hello from Bristol, United Kingdom. Great to see everybody. Thank you for all joining. You guys are awesome. I really love the community. I love the respect everybody shows. So thank you.
It's on report that he walked from a homeless area. That's what it was termed as. Not that he's homeless, but just came from that direction. And I've always wondered, how exactly did he get there? And that made me think right away that somebody could have dropped him off. But did they know his purpose? That's another question, or did he ask to be dropped off?
And there was some confusion in the beginning, the very beginning of all this, when the authorities said he came from the direction of a homeless area.
Thank you for following over here now.
It does not appear that it is a homeless person if this is in fact the guy who's now in custody. I mean, a lot of people have pointed out that truck, it's an expensive truck. I mean, it's kind of a somewhat fancy pickup.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. We don't have any indication that he was a homeless person, and we have every indication that he in fact is their prime subject, because they've charged him. They are willing to go on paper and charge him with kidnapping.
We went to...
Okay, let me just, update you. Thank you for that in the chat. Brian Entin just said, second person being arraigned, Troy Driver should be next. I keep checking my Zoom feed. They're not letting me in, so they must have blocked the whole thing. But Troy Driver should be coming up next.
The place where they found the truck, Jennifer, which is about like 30 minutes, I would say, from here. Let me just get out of their way. They're kind of unloading stuff.
Kelly,
about
thank
30
you.
minutes from here, kind of in a more rural area, kind of a disheveled house, I would say. There was a lot of like cars outside that looked like they weren't working. So it was kind of interesting to think that that expensive of a truck would be at that location. We don't know for sure that he was living there. There was a woman there who sort of rushed right inside when we showed up and took our big camera out. And it was a gated lot, so I couldn't really get close. And I tried shouting questions at her, but we don't really know exactly who she is at this point. Let's kind of move. I want to show you something else.
So he's giving us a bird's eye view of the whole Walmart parking lot. Let me just say quickly, thank you to Andrea Telu. I hope I'm saying that right. Thank you for the super sticker. Much appreciated. Thank you. Hello, visiting from Fernley, Nevada. That's ground zero. Sending prayers, Lily Johnson, to your whole entire community. Much love and respect from Crime Time with DutyRon.
Mm-hmm. This is the parking lot. And then, they found her car not far from here. And it's too far for us to walk, but you see that Lowe's. I don't know how good the signal is, but can you see the Lowe's in the distance?
Yes, I can.
So it was over in that direction. There was kind of an area, a gravel area where you could pull off the road. And apparently a lot of truckers use that area to kind of stay the night. It's right out, it's not hidden at all. And that's where they found the truck. And this is interesting. This is something else the brother was frustrated about. Her car wasn't hidden. I mean, it was right out on the main road over there. And he feels like if the authorities had taken this seriously from the very beginning and started searching, like it wouldn't have taken them much time at all, because it's just around the corner, to have found her car very early on, which may have, they started a little bit sooner, could have had an impact.
Well, especially considering the law enforcement authorities that are there. This isn't a bustling New York City or Chicago or Detroit where they're getting hundreds of calls every night that they're having to respond to. And this is something that's
Hold
really
on 1 second, Jennifer. Hold on, sorry. What? Oh, sorry. We're with Newsnation. We're doing a story about the woman who was kidnapped.
Sorry, but I can't hear you.
Okay, you want us to leave? Okay.
Sorry, I don't mean to kick you out, but I can't hear you.
Okay, I understand. We'll walk back to our car over on the other side. Okay, yes.
Well, see, he's a nice guy. Brian Entin was well within his right. That's a public place. Fiber Floozy, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. Here, lurking and working. Much love. Thank you, Fiber Floozy's Crafts. Everybody go over and follow Jill over on her channel. She does a lot of great stuff. But let me just say this. Brian Entin is a gentleman. I wouldn't have been nasty about it, but I would have personally said, hey, this is a public place. I am a news reporter, and I am reporting on a case. I am well within my right to be here, and I'm allowed to be here. So I would have just walked away. I wouldn't have left. But he's a gentleman. I tip my cap to him. I shake his hand and say, what a good human being, because he could have just basically told her, too bad. I'm reporting on the news. This is a story I'm covering, and I have my press credentials. I'm well within my right. Anybody could be in a Walmart parking lot. You can't be thrown out of a Walmart parking lot. It's a public place, folks.
So Walmart, one of the workers just came out.
Okay, I'm getting my...
We should leave, which I was kind of wondering if that was going to happen. So we're just going to kind of walk to the other side. But anyway, sorry, I got distracted, Jennifer. What were you saying?
Oh, no problem. No, basically, I'm just trying to point out, but before I get distracted, I do find it interesting that Walmart just asked you to leave, but of course, I think they don't like the idea of this correlation, right, between...
Okay, I am just getting the news feed. Judge Lori Matthew is, I'm seeing the feed from inside the courtroom right now. I just wanted to make sure nobody can hear this. Just let me know if you can hear it, because if you can, I'm just going to mute it, but I'm listening to it in my head. Let me just look at the chat real quick. Stand by. Just want to make sure that this is not showing. Hold on, folks. So let me know in the chat if you can hear this judge talking. If you can, I'm counting on all of you guys to tell me. I can hear it on the side. but I just don't want you guys to hear it because we're not allowed. There's nothing being said right now, but I have a view of it. I'm going to take a couple of pictures. I won't post them, but again, I'm recording this. So it's a female judge. She's blonde, and she's on the bench right now here in the cases. So I definitely have it live right now. Nothing is being said. She's just looking over some paperwork, things of that nature. But let me minimize this. Let me minimize this so I can give you a little bit of a play-by-play. Get myself back on the screen. All right. Oh, they're showing him. There he is. Get a picture of this guy. Just let me know if you can hear it, because if you can, I'm going to shut it down. She's reading the charges out to him. Lori Matthews. $750,000 bail. That's what they're asking for, $750,000 bail. Can you guys hear me? She's asking him his name. Is it true? Is his name spelled correctly? Is this your name? Law firm of Mario Walker is presenting him. They're asking for $750,000 bail. I'm listening to the hearing right now, guys. Wow, he looks frightening, this guy. Whew. He is frightening looking. His defense attorney is talking right now. He's arguing that the camera shouldn't be in the courtroom. I'm just taking multiple pictures of him because he's behind the sheriff's sign, and I'm watching and listening. He's talking about the Zoom link. He's fighting over the Zoom link. The attorney is saying that the Zoom link is not. He's reading Supreme Court Rule 229, saying that there shouldn't have been allowed a Zoom link to be public. He's talking about electronic devices. So he is before the judge right now via Zoom. He's got a tattoo on his upper right hand. He has a tattoo right on the upper right side of his chest, right by the collarbone right here. And it's visible in his gray and like light gray and dark gray prison garb. That's a shot of him from there. So he's got a tattoo. This is the only thing he should be wearing. His tattoo is not on the face. The state is saying none of his rights have been violated. $750,000 bail. He's not getting the bail. She's saying there's no live streaming to Facebook. There's no live streaming onto any social media. It is subject to a federal crime. The judge is going to make a decision whether media could be present in the courtroom during the further proceedings. Here comes the bail. This is bail argument. $750,000 bail. It is bondable. I can't believe it. She's allowing $750,000 bail and bondable. That's disgusting. She's asking if the victims, they're asking if the family wants to say anything. They're in the front row, all of them. I see the brother, sister, father, mother, and they're asking them if they want to say something. I think Casey's going to come up and talk. Hold on. The judge is looking. This is unbelievable. I've actually never seen this before. I think someone's going to get up and talk. Hold on. He's not going to be able to make this bail. They do not wish to make a statement. They are holding on to each other. They refuse to make a comment. They had a conversation. It looked like all of them were talking together in the front row, and they did not. $750,000 bail, bondable. You heard it here first. She will release him if he gets the bond with a GPS device. Oh my God. Jesus. That's disgusting. They're visibly shaken, the family. I cannot believe this. Female judge. Enhanced supervision, a daily check-in with the court, an ankle monitor, alcohol and drug testing. I cannot freaking believe it. This is disgusting. If bond is posted, he is not to be released until the installation of a setup and GPS monitor is not. He is not to be released unless a setup of a GPS and monitor ankle bracelet is installed. That was extreme. That was an extreme order by the judge. If he makes bond, April 5th, 10 a.m. April 12th, preliminary hearing at 1 p.m. Case adjourned. Oh my God. I can't even believe it, but I'm not surprised. They gave, oh my God. All right, that's it. Zoom meeting is over. Unbelievable, guys. Let me just say, $750,000 bail. If he gets a bond and gets a company to back him and get his bond out, he will be released. There's all of the ankle monitor. Okay, the Zoom meeting is over. I recorded it, so I have a recording of it. And if you guys want to see it, I'm going to probably upload it later on tonight. But you'll probably see it on some other live stream. But that's breaking news. $750,000 bail granted by the judge. She could have denied him bail. But we talked about the case in Houston, Texas, right? Diamond Alvarez shot 22 times by her ex-boyfriend. She was just a teenager, shot 22 times in the back, and the judge released her murderer on $250,000 bail, and he got an ankle monitor and was released. He's still out and free. He shot and killed her 22 times. This case, $750,000 bail with a bond and a surety hearing, where if he gets a company that backs him up, or if he gives his house up and it's enough to cover this bond, this piece of garbage will be out with an ankle monitor. And those you heard, I was repeating what the judge was saying, that he has to submit to a daily check-in, drug tests, ankle monitoring, and he has to abide by all the laws. He kidnapped this woman, and we don't know if she's alive or not, this young girl. It's sickening. It's just sick and disgusting. Sick and disgusting, folks. I am just, the criminal justice system now is really worrying me here. Because if you have somebody on video kidnapping somebody, and now we don't know if she's alive or dead, you're gonna let this guy walk amongst the citizens of that community? He's gonna get to go home? I'm telling you, man, this is, to me, despicable and disgusting. That's all I have to say. I'm actually sick to my stomach right now. So, thank you so much for the super chat, Pat's Cats. We're all angry. By a show of hands, who in the chat here is so angry and so let down by our criminal justice system? That court judge, I can't even believe what I just heard. I can't even believe it. Judge Lori Mathis, this is the judge who released him. I'm sure you guys can't see that well, but that's a picture of the judge. She, he's not released, but she's giving him the opportunity. And I hope and pray that he cannot make a bond of $750,000. It's going to be a certain percentage of that, and I'm telling you, right now, I feel so bad for this family. It's just, I'm without words right now. I'm going to just keep my fingers crossed that he does not make the bond and post bail. She gave strict instructions that he has to have that ankle monitor on him before he's released, and that he has to meet all of the criteria. It's just disgusting. Guys, let me know what you think down below in the comment section. I don't think there's anything more that I could say here. Again, the justice system has failed. So bail is, bond is 10%, is what someone's saying. It varies from state to state. So I'd have to look up what it is in Nevada. But, you know, to even have a fact of $750,000, it's an insult. It should have been 10 million. And then we definitely know he wouldn't have got out. But I would have been so much happier if I heard the judge say no bail, no bond. Thank you so much for the super chat. Thank you for the super sticker. Teresa Ann, thank you. Thank you. Let me know in the chat. Let me know in the comments what you think. Let me know how outraged you are. By a show of hands, who feels that that was fair and within the guidelines of our criminal justice system? I think that that might have been a little bit over what the minimum would be, but I say this judge has to look at his past criminal history, what he stands charged with right now. I know innocent until proven guilty, but look at the whole picture here. And that bond and bail should have been denied for the safety of the community in Fernley and the whole state of Nevada, the whole United States, the whole world. Everybody's watching. People from South Africa are watching this. It's very disappointing. I can't tell you how disappointed I am, folks. All right, guys, a lot of love and respect from my house to yours. God bless the world. God bless the United States of America. And God bless each and every one of us here in the chat, but especially the Irion family. They are going through it right now. They need us now more than ever. Let's pray for the mom. Let's pray for her brother Casey and her sister and her stepbrothers and her dad and everybody from the community there and everybody from South Africa that knows these folks. We send prayers, strength, positive vibes. Thank you all for being here. Tonight, 9:30, Jennifer Coffindaffer will be on with me. We're going to be talking about the Oakley Carlson case, but we're also going to talk about this. We have to talk about this. How can we not? We're going to have to talk about this. So I'm going to have Jennifer Coffindaffer on with me tonight, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Check your local times. I'm on Eastern Time, so it's 9:30. The foster mom is in Oregon, so she's on the West Coast. So she requested that 9:30 time. I'll see you guys soon. What a day. What a day it's been, folks. Love and respect from DutyRon. Thanks for joining.